Morning, folks. All right, it is 9 a.m. It is the 27th day of May, 2025, and we are in the County Court at Law courtroom in the Aransas County Courthouse located at 2718 Highway 35 North, Rockport, Texas, 78382, and I call this regular meeting to order. Please stand and join me in the invocation.
Please join me as I pray. Again, Father, we're thankful for the blessings of this new day and the rain that you sent last night. And we pray for all those people in Central Texas that were affected by the high winds and potentially hail. But we know that you're in control of all things. And we pause now in this meeting to invite your presence to preside over this meeting today. Lord, we pray that you speak to each and every one of these commissioners and let them know what your will is to direct this county into the future. And we trust you, Lord. We know that the safest place for any of us to be at any time is in the center of your will. So that's what we pray over this meeting today, that your will dominate our thinking and it will benefit all the citizens of this county. For it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, please join me in the pledges.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor and protect the flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney is absent. Commissioner Casterline.
Here.
Commissioner Russo. Here. Commissioner Dupnick.
Here.
Judge Garza.
Here, we've got a quorum. We've got 4 members present. At this time, we'll hear from citizens to be heard. First up, we got Mike Miller. Good morning, sir. Yeah.
Commissioner, approach the bench.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks. Morning.
Thank you. My name is Michael Miller, 5110 IH 37, Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm here on behalf of Teal Construction, and I'm going to read a letter that was sent to all of you last night in response to a letter that came from the county attorney's office. Dear Miss Oster and Miss Martinez, this letter is written on behalf of Teal Construction in response to your letter to Justin McComb of Teal dated May 22nd, 2025. Although your letter was only signed by Miss Martinez, I've addressed my letter to Miss Oster as well, as it is on her letterhead. This pertains primarily to the issuance of property insurance on the Aransas County Courthouse. Teal has provided property insurance during construction in the contractually required form of a builder's risk policy. When Teal has substantially completed its contractual scope of work, the county is required to take possession of the building and provide its own property insurance. The county has wrongfully refused to do that, and having advice from the county attorney's office to make that refusal does not excuse the county from that responsibility. The other policies of insurance provided by Teal are not involved in this property insurance issue. Several months ago, the county unilaterally removed certain scopes of work from Teal's contract. Teal did not approve this change. Teal has substantially completed the remaining scope of work. Your architectural team has delayed things by not certifying this work as substantially complete, and in fact was a no-show when the agreed date to begin their punch of the project came up. We believe that PGAL has finally started the interior punch. It is also our understanding that PGAL has delegated the exterior punch to Architectus, but Architectus is refusing to perform the punch inspection. So the interior punch is delayed and the exterior punch is not happening at all. How long is this delay going to continue? This letter is additionally notice to the county of delay and Teal's extended general conditions, including insurance costs, continue to accrue for which a claim is made. It is wrong of the county to try to force Teal to pay for insurance that the county should have to take over and pay. The county is obligated in the contract to furnish a functioning architect who will not show partiality to either the owner or the contractor. A201 section 4.2.12, the contractor gets relief under the contract if delayed or interfered with by the act or neglect of the owner or the architect. A201.8.3.1, Port of Houston versus Zachary 449 Southwest 98, affirmed 14th Court of Appeals 410-00708, December 15, 2016. Teal has been delayed many times in the project by this architectural team, and we believe that they have showed bias against Teal. Teal has provided many notices of delay to the county, all of which have been either ignored or refused. As we told you in my prior correspondence dated April 27, 2025, Teal can recover from the county in its base contract amount along with costs and attorney's fees from owner-caused delays or acceleration, change orders, extra work, and interest. Texas Local Government Code 262.007. All of those factors are present here. The current dispute arises out of Teal's notice to the county that the builder's risk insurance, which Teal has provided, was expiring. Teal complied with the contract's notice provision at A201 11.1.4 by giving more than 3 business days notice twice. Because the county refused to take the building and insure it, Teal extended the builder's risk policy even though Teal did not have to. Your letter makes it clear that the county is refusing to pay Teal for this extension of the builder's risk, although these delays are not on Teal. Teal has both contractual and statutory rights to stop work for non-payment. Teal cannot keep extending this insurance policy indefinitely. It is not just a money issue. A builder's risk policy is intended to cover the property while Teal is performing work, but not after Teal is substantially complete. Your letter did not point out a provision in the contract that requires Teal to maintain the builder's risk policy after Teal has provided substantially completed its reduced scope of work, because there is none. There is no 2-year provision pertaining to builder's risk either. If there is one, please point it out. The provisions you cited in your letter deal with liability coverage, not property coverage, and have no application to this dispute. Even if Teal wanted to keep on providing builder's risk, the builder's risk insurance company likely would not cover a loss after Teal has finished the county and the county refuses to accept the building. The county has an obligation to the public to protect its assets, and this building may be the most valuable asset that the county has. Is the county prepared to take that risk? Will the county just keep on demanding that Teal renew its builder's risk policy? Teal is providing notice to the county again that the county needs to put owner's property insurance on this building.
Time's up. Time's up.
Thank you.
All right. Justin McCombs.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners.
Morning.
Justin McComb, 7809 Etienne Drive, Corpus Christi, Texas. And I'm going to pick up where Mr. Miller left off. Teal is providing notice to the county again, and the county needs to put the property's insurance on this building. Teal will not be responsible for a loss because of the county's failure to get insurance after these notices have been provided by Teal. Your letter takes position that Teal must continue to provide the insurances for free until the architect and the county accept this building as substantially complete. That might be true if we had an owner that was willing to be responsible and an architect that was willing to do its job timely and without basis. Unfortunately, that's not the case here. We have an architect team that is not functioning timely or at all, and an owner that is being unreasonable. It is neither responsible nor logical to de-scope work from Teal on one hand, and on the other hand, claim that Teal must continue to insure the building because Teal has not performed the work that was removed from the contract. Your letter claims that the Texas Constitution prevents the county from paying Teal for its insurance and other costs. That's not correct. The general provision you cited has nothing to do with property insured construction contract. The county has a contractual obligation to pay Teal for its work. The county has a statutory obligation to pay Teal for its cost. See 262.007 of the Texas Local Government Code above, and also see Chapter 2251 of the Texas Government Code regarding failure to delay in payment by a county. Your letter references insurances at 11.1.2 and the A201. This section does not address insurance at all. It addresses bonds which Teal has furnished and are not in dispute of. Bonds are not insurance. Your letter references 11.1.2.1 of the supplemental general conditions. All that says is that Teal must provide insurance, provide the insurance it is obligated to provide from companies that are acceptable to the owner. Teal has done that. We have received no objection to any particular insurance company. Your letter references 11.2.1.3.4 in the supplemental general conditions. That section requires 2 years coverage on certain liability coverages. Teal has provided the coverage, and those policies are not in dispute. That has nothing to do with property insurance. It has nothing to do with the property insurance issue. Your letter references 11.2.1.5 in the supplemental conditions. This pertains to another type of liability insurance and has nothing to do with property insurance. Your letter references 11.2.1.7 of the supplemental conditions regarding maintaining insurance until the acceptance of the entire work. This does not give the county the right to indefinitely refuse to take the building and insure it, especially when you have architects who are not performing their job properly and timely. Your letter says that you want Teal to, your letter says that you want Teal surety to sign the certificate of substantial completion. Sureties do not sign that document, and there's no provision in their contract or in those bonds that require the surety to do that. You do have the risk to ask the surety to sign a consent of payment to Teal as substantial completion, and Teal will furnish that consent upon request. See 9.8.5 in the A201. Your letter requests insurance information from Teal and its subcontractors. I've asked Teal to furnish the certificate of insurance it has in its files. I've also asked Teal to furnish the rates it receives from the insurance company on further extension of the builder's risk policy, but it is not appropriate to extend that policy past Teal's physical presence working on the project. Teal is not going to provide coverage while the county goes about procuring another contractor to perform the work that was removed from Teal's contract. Delays in procurement are on the county, not on Teal. The time to have started the procurement process was when the work was removed from Teal's contract months ago. Your letter says that you will refuse to take the keys and insure the building. Is the county really going to refuse to take this building and not insure a very large investment it has made? As for the work under Teal's current contract, the work performed by Teal is ready for occupancy. Teal still hopes that this can be worked out. We demanded mediation last year, but that was ignored by the county. This needs to be mediated by an experienced construction attorney mediator. We suggest again that the whole dispute be mediated. Teal would be willing to use the same mediator as we used for the City of Rockport City Hall project, George Baldwin. If you would prefer to use a different mediator who is board certified in Texas construction law, please suggest a name for us to consider. If you refuse to mediate, please clearly say so. Please respond to this request to mediate within 10 days. Not responding to this request timely will be taken as refusal to mediate. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to presentations and proclamations. Item number 1. We have a motion.
Acknowledge and accept proclamation P 11/2025, a proclamation to establish Rockport, Fulton, and Aransas County as the ecosystem capital of the Texas Gulf Coast, and to proclaim June 20, 2025 as Sustainable Ecotourism Day.
Need a second?
We've got a motion and a second. Good morning, ladies.
Judge Commissioners, this is proclamation P 11/2025. Whereas Rockport, Fulton, and Aransas County have a heritage of individuals and organizations working to preserve and restore natural habitats to support wildlife and the ecosystem. And whereas residents such as Connie Hagar, the Bird Lady of Texas, promoted the area as a birdwatcher's paradise on the Central Flyway for Migration, and National Teacher Hall of Fame educator Martha McLeod's youth birding program at Rockport Fulton ISD. Whereas sporting and wildlife artist Jack Cohen, Herb Booth, Al Barnes, Steve Russell, and Kent Ulberg created artwork that celebrated the wonders of nature and the enjoyment of hunting and fishing, and helped create environmental organizations that passed significant conservation legislation that protected Aransas County's natural resources. And whereas organizations like Aransas Bird and Nature Club, Aransas County Aquarium, Aransas County Navigation District, Save Little Bay, Aransas First Land Trust, Aransas Pathways, Aransas National Wildlife Refuge, Bent Oaks Conservancy and Rookery Association, Aransas Bay Chapter, Ducks Unlimited, Flatsworthy International Crane Foundation, Rockport, Keep Aransas County Beautiful, Mission Aransas National Estuarine Research Reserve Bay Education Center, Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Office, Texas Master Naturalist Mid-Coast Chapter, Texas Parks and Wildlife, and Wings Rescue Center focus on protection and education of unique habitat like wetlands, shorelands, and woodlands to preservation of wildlife. And whereas Aransas County celebrates nature with annual events including Arbor Day, Babes on the Bay, Hummerfest, and Oysterfest as economic drivers and conservation events. And Rockport has been designated a Tree City USA for 25 years. And whereas Rockport, Fulton, and Aransas County have become innovative leaders in oyster farming and restoring reefs through collaboration with the Sink Your Shucks program and the Hart Research Center. And whereas the Rockport Cultural Arts District has promoted art in nature, sustainable economic development, and nature tourism, produced film documentaries about Rockport Fulton's legendary art colony and sporting artists, Charlie Belair, and his lifetime advocacy for environmental issues, and is leading a Sustainable Ecosystem Summit, June 20th, 2025, to increase community awareness and outreach. Now therefore be it resolved that the Aransas County Commissioners Court hereby proclaims Rockport, Fulton, and Aransas County as the ecosystem capital of the Texas Gulf Coast, and June 20th, 2025 as the Sustainable Ecotourism Day for Rockport, Fulton, and Aransas County. Thank you.
Perfect.
There was. Thank you.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Motion passes. All right. I'm sorry, I'm gonna strike item number 2. We
Oh.
do not need to do that.
I was gonna mention.
We'll move on to item number, actually the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 5.
Move to approve the Friends of the Fulton Mansion first quarter 2025 report.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Jane Hill, President of the Friends of Fulton Mansion. And this is Dorothy Wood. She's the Assistant Site Manager at the Fulton Mansion. So this is our first quarter. It's a little late. I mean, but it's better late than never. Okay, we did not have any expenses for the first quarter of 2025, but we will have expenses in the next second, third, and fourth quarter. So our heads to beds, the total heads to beds for the first quarter was 1,995 people. No, nights. Excuse me, nights. Thank you. And then comparing with last year, our quarterly numbers for 2024 and 2025, we hope that that increases in the second, third, and fourth quarter. And I like to show that comparison just to see how we're doing locally. And then we also count, or the staff at the mansion counts total visitors for all programs, projects, events. And you can see in 2023, 13,435 visitors. In 2024, it went up 13,848. And a huge increase the first quarter of 2025, 9,688. That, you ask, why is that? That's due to the fact that they have a really talented, fully staffed, and especially their educators. In particular, we have one that has just been phenomenal. It's Joanne Seward, who I have to call her out. She's just done a fabulous job with coming up with incredible programs that interest people in the community. And while not all of those events brought someone into the hotel industry, what it does do is that it shows people who live here the kinds of things that we do that are interesting to people, so that when they do come here, these are the fun things that you can do. One other thing that the site is very proud of is that the gift shop had the highest sales of all the Texas Historical Commission sites in the state. So the gift shop is
That's
something
impressive.
that's people that are interested in as well when they come there. So the promotion of the arts for the first quarter, we had the Oyster Fest Parade Float. I'm going to show you some pictures of that, of our participation. Well, the sites of participation. Dinner at the Mansion, tea party, picnic at the Mansion, and the Smithsonian Museum on Main Street. The Friends supplied the music. So there's a picture you can see in front. There's Dorothy. So they had, the site had someone make costumes for them that were Victorian era and a float to participate in the Oyster Fest. Then we had a dinner at the Mansion that, as you can see, some of the guests dressed in historically correct costumes, and it was catered with courses that were from Harriet's cookbook. Yeah.
5 or 9? That's what I thought you said, 9 courses. Huh?
Yeah, and they're doing that each quarter. So kind of a fun thing. So they're eating there in the dining room in the Mansion. And then there's Joanne, the tea party.
I attended that.
Yes,
It was
thank you.
wonderful event.
Thank you for your support.
Absolutely wonderful.
And that was, what was this one called? Picnic at the Mansion with kites. It was around the same time as the kite fair. And then one of the things that we did that the Friends funded that wasn't in this quarter's expenses were text panels. It's a permanent exhibit that tells a story about the mansion. I'll show you some pictures of that. They were installed in the first quarter, but they were expensed last year. So now you get to see what those look like. And as you probably visiting other museums, you see these kinds of beautiful text panels that just add information all about the history of the area and the Fultons and the mansion. So projects in the works, adult workshops and lectures, croquet on the lawn, that's every Sunday, heirloom tomato workshop, music at the mansion. We had to cancel the one in May due to the rain. Restoration of the parlor, the mantle and bay window areas, plaster deterioration. I'll show you some pictures of that. That we are going to be expensing under restoration. We've had some plaster. This is up in the parlor above the main front window facing the water. There's been deterioration. There's some water leakage, and you can't just hire anybody to do the work. It has to be people who are versed and have the experience in that kind of a restoration so that it's done properly. The fireplace, the plaster up underneath the mantelpiece has deteriorated over time, and they have to remove that big, heavy mirror. And aren't you having to use?
The mirror's already done. It's already been removed. We did that last Thursday.
Yeah.
And it took a crew to come in and connect it, handles antiques on a daily basis. And it took 5 of them to build a platform because the mirror weighs 300 to 400 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And now it is boxed up in the parlor, did not leave the site, and it's still there, but it is crated up.
So then the work will begin, and then they'll eventually install the mirror. And so of course the parlor is all roped off right now because it's under this construction. So this is something that's been long overdue, and we're going to be helping with that. The state doesn't have the budget that they need to fully redo it. That's why it's been long overdue. They just haven't had the budget. So this is something that we feel the Friends can step in and help with that. It's an important part of preserving the beautiful mansion and its integrity. So again, thank you all for your support. And I always remind you, we love to give you a personalized tour anytime that you'd like to come by. Dorothy and I want to make a request that we want to get your guidance on it. There's something that we would like to do that we're not sure that it falls under the promotion of the arts. So here's what it is. All of the materials that are used for all of their projects and programs are stored on the third floor of the mansion. That's where the staff have their offices. What's hot up there, and those items are really not doing very well. What we would like to do is in the multipurpose room, that's the room where you go up and pay where the gift shop is, and
Is
that's
that
the
the
room next door.
education area?
The education area. They want to install some cabinetry. It would be the same kind of cabinetry that they have in the kitchen. So it's not built on site. It's something you would buy off of in a store. It would store and house all of those things to protect the investment of which your funds have paid for. So we just weren't sure if that would fall under it, but it's preserving all of those items that we use for our promotion of the arts. Is there any indication that you might give us that would be something you would approve? Because we'd love to go forward and get that out of that hot attic.
Well,
How do we go
probably
about doing
speak to the
that?
treasurer.
Yeah, we'd have to talk to the treasurer and the auditor.
Okay.
And get some guidance.
Okay. Okay.
Reach out to my office and
Okay.
remind me.
All right. Okay. Give you
Give me a
help.
week.
A
Yeah.
week? Okay. Very good. We appreciate you
Okay.
considering it. We just want to do the right thing. And so, okay.
I will say, I also get emails from the Texas Historic Commission,
Mhm.
and one just came the other day. And the Fulton Mansion was one of the few things that they mentioned in that. And they were talking about music at the museum, and they gave the dates for June and July.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a good thing that you're on the dates,
Yeah.
email.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
Your croquet, I'm sorry, your croquet in the park, is it like the official
Yes.
one?
With the
Okay.
official laws and things.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And we're looking at having 2050's coming up. And we're looking at having a block party and also having a croquet contest
Nice.
competition.
On holidays, my friends and I play extreme croquet, but we play through the woods and
Oh.
it's not official. Oh, nice. That's
Wow.
cool.
And we actually had a group of young students come in, and they're gonna be one of our teams, and they're
Fine.
we're gonna
Okay.
play croquet on a Sunday afternoon. And
That's
we got
nice.
pictures I take pictures. So,
Cool.
Yeah. And of course, in the summer, there'll be a lot of programs for kids because we know there are lots of people who vacation here. We see it in the house. I was a docent over there in the summers. It's just all families bringing in their kids. They were on the beach the day before and they're all sunburned. And now they're out trying to do something to entertain the kids. And so typically it'll be a grandparent, the parents who are from San Antonio area, Houston, have brought in their kids. And so we like to make it a place that is fun for everybody. Yeah.
Do you have the dates? You can say what the music at the museum will
I
be?
don't have- But yeah, we do have one coming up in June. It's coming up fast. The one in May we had to cancel because of rain. But we'll have one in August, and I think the one we were supposed to have in May, we're gonna rebook.
Okay.
And so that date will be coming out.
Perfect. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 6.
I move to accept the Aransas County Animal Care Services update from January 24th to May 16th, 2025.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion and a second. Ms. Caitlin, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. So I just wanted to give a brief update on everything that we've been doing since I've been director. Paws and Claws is one of our community outreach programs that we've used out of all of the donated money that the public has either not had a designation for, or designated strictly for medical expenses and to get back to the community. I do have to say we had to put a brief hold onto this due to the fact of lack of funding because it was utilized that quickly. Now, this is for people who qualify. It's not just given to anyone. It's people with disability, Medicaid, Medicare, on food stamps, low income people that had an emergency. Like we had one gentleman whose cat was attacked by dogs. We helped assist to get emergency vet care because he could not afford to. And ultimately the animal could not be saved. It was too bad, but we were able to assist him instead of that animal sitting there suffering with no medical care. And again, right now we had to put that on a hold. We have actually been able to get into the school systems, been able to educate our youth, held a couple of info booths at market days and in Fulton. And we have done meet and greets with HOAs and Town of Fulton with when they had their neighborhood watch and talked with them so they can meet our officers, kind of gave them some education on what we do. And we actually finally got to do 2 microchip and rabies vaccine clinics for our community. And it has been a vast improvement, as well as we've been able to get more pet licenses this year. We passed our state inspection for the shelter updates and created relationships with surrounding rescues, including Gulf Coast Humane. Adequate supplies for our kennel techs to where our cleaning solutions as well that we switched to. We've had less sick animals in our shelter. Animals that are sick, the containment staying to 1 kennel instead of spreading around to others. Unfortunately, our play yards are still what we call a giant foam mite. We haven't been able to upgrade them to where it's not spreading. We're trying to keep them as clean as well. Another chance is helping as well, trying to make sure we can clean up very well to try to not spread any submissions like worms and stuff. We've renewed our DEA license this year, and we have received word that we are getting a 2024 Best Friends No Kill Statistic Award again. Our animal control officer updates is kind of, as you can see, we have sent our officers that are working for us to many education opportunities. That budget line has been used adequately to try to make sure that our field officers know exactly what they're doing when they're out there to better assist our citizens and the animals involved, as well as Officer Cross has received a National Animal Control Officer certificate, which means she is a certified animal control officer as well. I'm sorry, I meant to change the top name of that, but director updates is I received my National Animal Control certification as well. Went to many conferences, as well as been nominated with a scholarship to go to the Texas Unite Conference, which means it was no cost to the county for me to be able to go. And I am a part of Texas Animal Control Association. It's not a voting member, but I do get to attend to try to help and put in a 2 cents to try to make a difference. Created a relationship with Texas Humane Legislative Network, which helps us better adequately explain our laws, understand our laws, maybe make a difference within our animal control laws that help our area as well. Created more local education opportunities for the animal control officers. Like we are holding classes here in our Rockport area, which also kind of gives us a little boost for people to understand our area and bring more tourists and stuff. But it does help with peace officers, prosecutors, judges, and animal control officers as well. Reaching and applying still for more grant opportunities. I have some grants out, haven't heard back if we've been denied or not, but some applications are out. And was asked by our Region 11 vet to teach a couple of classes as well to new animal control officers and surrounding directors on local rabies control authority. And trying to still establish firm relationships with the surrounding animal control officers, trying to get together, and it's utilizing, and Taka has been helping with that as well. Now, our shelter stats back in 2024, we brought in 704 and 668 left. We had 136 adopted, which is one of our highest adoption rates numbers that we have right now. Our goal is to try to beat that this year. We've had 26 dead on arrival, 39 euthanized, and that's for the entire year. Now, out of that 39 euthanized, that does include wildlife that are sick, that we do pick up and that are captured either with most likely distemper is what we've been seeing a lot of. And raccoons and possums. And then we've had 149 animals reclaimed, which is returned to owners as well. So with that being said, that means they were microchipped or they had their pet licenses, or there are frequent flyers. We knew their owners and were issued citations. We've had 11 released to wild and 307 rescued, and that was work between both Another Chance and us as well.
I have a question. So released to wild, those would just be things like raccoons and possums, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Not what we would consider domestic animals.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No. Shelter stats so far for 2025 is animals brought in 199, animals that left the shelter 191. We're already at 27 animals adopted, 15 on at dead arrival. Animals euthanized is 15. As well in the euthanized, we do have our aggressive dogs or dangerous dogs that have come in that we did not feel fit for the behavioral assessments to be able to be released or adopted due to the fact that they were a danger to people. Reclaimed 40 and rescued 94 so far. our prosecution stats. Now, these are citations that have been turned in and sent out. We've had in JP1, 106 were dismissed. I meant to have my numbers with me. I can't quite remember all of the numbers, but JP2 had about, I think it was 6 dismissed and none in the city of Rockport. Now, dismissed means anything from they showed proof, as in if they had a rabies, no rabies citation and they brought in a rabies certificate, means that was dismissed. Or if they had a no pet license citation and they brought in a pet license certificate, that would be dismissed. Running at large means they had to prove that that was not their animal and or it was not running at large at that time.
So that number, over 100 were dismissed for all those reasons?
Yes, sir. One of those reasons.
Okay.
Or it was dismissed from the county attorney, by the county attorneys.
And why would that happen?
That it's just one way or another. It just depends. I cannot speak on their behalfs, but the orange is warrants issued, which means they did not either appear in court or they did not pay their fines. And then their blue ones are payment plans and were set for trial, means they have not been tried yet. And then we have our higher court, which we only have one, which is in JP1, which believes that they did not want to plead not guilty. And it decided to go to a higher court. So, and that is it. I did have another slide, but I did go ahead and have Colin delete that one. It was our kennel placement. It showed a lot of empties, but very quickly, 2 days later, after I submitted this, it is no longer that many empties. So I did not want to post inadequate stuff on the slide. But thank you.
Thank you,
you.
Caitlin.
Any questions from the commissioners? All right.
Commissioner Casterline.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did have a comment. I'm sorry. I am interested in when something's dismissed, there's no reason why.
Again, the reasons that we've been given is they either showed proof that the animal was not running at large and or
Do you keep stats on how many of those are?
I asked the JP1, JP2 and City of Rockport. We don't have many in the town of Fulton, but I asked their court systems to send me those earlier last week when I was making this presentation. And I don't have exactly why. It just shows what was dismissed, what's like where their dispositions were. So I'm not 100% sure the reasonings why.
Okay, that'd be a good stat to keep, because if you're, if we're doing something that's making it dismiss, you could, I don't know.
Fix it.
Yeah, fix it. And so,
Yes,
all right, well, thank you.
thank you.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Bye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 7.
I move to approve variance requests for variance on county minimum lot size requirements to replat 268 Royal Oak Lane from 3 lots into 1 lot. Legal description is lots 262, 268, and 269 Hillcrest section. Holiday Beach subdivision replatted as lot 268-R Hillcrest section, Holiday Beach subdivision.
Got a motion second. Morning, Ms. Cap.
Good morning. This is one of our pretty standard variances where we're going from less compliant to more compliant. The primary reason is that the Holiday Beach HOA does have a requirement that in order to have an accessory building, you primarily have to have a home first. And so by doing this replat, the property owners will be able to do an accessory structure on the other side of their of the block from their home. They understand that we're not vacating the utility easement, and they understand that construction cannot happen across that. Are there any questions? And I apologize for having the date wrong on the memo.
I think in the easement that we're not giving up, there's still water and telephone and electric in that easement, so.
And actually, it's not, the utilities are located in the right of way by the street. The utility easement is not in use, but because it's still, they don't have any plans to build across it, they didn't have any reason to want to vacate it. And so they understand that that means that they can't build across it, just
For
in
any
case.
future? Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
And is that easement then the one that's on West Club Oak Lane?
The one with the utilities in it?
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 8.
I move to approve the request from Aransas Pathway Steering Committee to apply for a T-Mobile grant to fund site improvements at Linda S. Castro site.
Second.
You've got a motion and a second.
Mr. O'Connell, do you have anything you want to add to this or?
Appreciate your forecast. Move forward.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions?
No questions?
Commissioner Casterline.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you,
Thank
Rich.
you. Thank you, Rich. Item number 9.
Move to approve resolution R 15-2025, resolution selecting and awarding a contract for medical, life, dental, vision, and AD&D RX benefits to the highest scoring company, Texas Association of Counties, and authorize county judge to execute all necessary documents.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion and a second. Good morning, Ms.
Thank you,
Desiree.
Desiree.
Good morning. So we had 6 proposals submitted and the review committee submitted our scores and TAC won. Do you have any questions about the proposals or the scoring?
So will the companies be the same as the ones that we've had in the past?
Yes, sir.
This isn't exactly a question, but I do want to mention to the court that when we start to look at budget and perhaps before the judge signs the renewal documents, I would like for us to consider removing coverage for retired employees who are not yet eligible for Medicare from our plan. Documents that was changed after I left the county as the HR director. I believe the change was made to accommodate a person who was eligible to retire, but was either 60 or 61, not yet eligible for Medicare. And so a concession was made. That concession is now costing the county taxpayers around $100,000 to $120,000 a year. These are for people who no longer work here, but we are paying their insurance until they hit 65. And some of these people are leaving the county and they're 55, 57, 59. That could be 8, 9 years that we're paying the employee share, the employer share. And this year it's going to go up a little. Right now, it's just under $800 per employee per month. We're paying that every month, every year for people that no longer work here. And I just think this is not a good use of the taxpayer dollars. So I'm all for approving TAC. They were head and shoulders above everybody else. And a lot of the responses were minimally compliant with what we were asking for. But I do want us to talk about that and put that in as a change to our employee policy and to the renewal documents.
Could we, this is Misty Kimber, could we leave it where the employee or the retired employee could pay that and stay on the same healthcare until they're 65, that it's out of their pocket?
I don't believe TAC will let that happen.
Would be under COBRA that way.
We're getting out of
Right.
what this
The
is about.
yeah.
It's off topic, but it's something we could bring up
All
at a
right.
later meeting.
I just wanted to
definitely.
be sure that the documents were not signed with that box ticked
Okay.
until we have a chance to discuss and vote on it.
Could we bring that up before, on an
Yeah.
agenda before the
We can bring it
budget?
up at the next meeting, actually. It's
That we
within
have
the
time to
knowledge of-
discuss it and
Or next
Well-
meeting or the other meeting.
With TAC, we had multiple options, but I can't discuss it with them until we award them. So once I get clarification on certain things, I think we should have a workshop to discuss the different options that they provided.
That would be a good idea. Thank you.
thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And for the record, I just want to say the scores for this was Miss Upton, Commissioner Rousseau, and Treasurer Cartwright.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 10.
I move to approve a request by Roto Craft Leasing Corporation to be released immediately from a hangar lease at the airport.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion and a second, and I believe Mr. Gear is online.
Good morning, Judge. Yes, I'm online. Happy to answer questions.
Can you tell us a little
Oh,
bit
yeah,
about?
sure. And so, Rotocraft,
Can you
leasing.
speak up a little, Mike?
Hi, sorry, I didn't bring the, microphone attachment for my computer. Can you hear me better now?
No.
Not really.
Can you turn it up?
Colin's trying to turn it up.
Thank you. Let me know, test.
That's
Better?
You're good.
Okay, thank you. So Rotocraft Leasing is, they've been a 10-year tenant at our airport in support of the offshore oil and gas platforms that are in the near Gulf. And they have lost essentially their contract to ferry folks offshore. So they're asking, can they just be released from their lease and the helicopter's no longer here. They have no need to be. And I thought, given their longstanding, the fact that they've paid us about $1 million over that 10 years for fuel sales and the other ancillaries that we've made off of them, that it would be good for them to release them. And then if they ever need to come back, then they've got a reason to come back here and not some other regional airport.
All right. Any questions from the commissioners?
How long is their current lease? Or
It-
how much?
It's up in end of September, so they've got 4 months left.
this year.
Oh, 4 months? Okay.
Yeah.
And you do have a tenant though, I was thinking, right? A potential tenant?
Yes, I can lease the space even at a daily rate in that hangar. I've got a list of folks that are ready to go in.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 11.
I move to approve authorizing the county procurement specialist to proceed with negotiating an agreement with Avfuel Corporation for bulk airport fuel supply and credit card processing services based on the recommendation of the request for proposals evaluation committee, which determined Avfuel Corporation's bid as the best value to the county.
Second, yeah.
You've got a motion and a second. Mike, you want to speak on this one?
Again, the Commissioner Dupnick said it. We did have a committee that reviewed the RFPs. Avfuel was the best value to the county for a number of reasons, and therefore we recommend that the county move forward with Avfuel.
All right.
Mike, who were the members of that evaluation committee, please?
It was myself, Commissioner Dupnick, and Airport Advisory Board member Gordon Lester.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. All right.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 12.
I move to approve hiring resolution number R 12/2025, selecting and awarding the contract for aviation fuel supplier to AV Fuel Corporation, authorizing the county judge to execute necessary documents, providing for severance of invalid provisions and confirming compliance with the Open Meetings Act.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second? Any other questions? All right.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Motion passes. And before we move on, we'll take a quick 5-minute break. Thank you. All right, we are back in session. It's 9:55. Quick break. All right, item number 13.
Move to approve authorizing the county judge to sign a contract between Aransas County and Grant Works Incorporated for grant administration services for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Funds Contract number 24-065-128-E986, administered by the Texas General Lands Office for Recovery and Infrastructure and Improvements, authorizing the county judge to sign all associated documents.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Do I have any questions? Jackie, you want to?
I do. The fee that we are going to proposing to pay to GrantWorks if we approve this is $499,400. Is that coming out of the money that we're getting to fix some of the streets in Fulton and also to do the several projects that the county has?
Yes, ma'am, that is part of the grant, is reimbursed at 100%.
And isn't the percentage that they give a prescribed?
It is based on the size of the grant itself.
But almost $500,000 for grant administration fees.
For a $10 million grant, yes, ma'am. That's 5%. Which is standard.
But it's hefty. I have one other question. On the employee interview designation form, I just want to confirm this. All of those people that are named as individuals to assist the labor standards officer in conducting Davis-Bacon employee interviews, are those all employees of GrantWorks?
Yes, ma'am.
And they include all of them, but we will have, what, 2 or 3 maybe assigned to this particular project?
Yes, ma'am. They have a whole team that does the labor compliance, but, and I think they work on all of them. They do have a big team that works on the labor compliance. That is one of the biggest components of the whole grant administration.
Okay, thank you, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say it is $500,000, but they do a lot of work.
Yes, they do.
We had a meeting last week, workshop going over the contract, and they do a lot of work.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Hi, motion passes. And Tracy, I'm going to sign all these later because I don't want to miss anything. There's a lot. And their signature for you too, Commissioner Castleline. All right. Item number 14.
I move to approve and adopt resolution R-13-2025. A resolution designate authorized signatories for the Community Development Block Grant Mitigation Program for General Land Office, State Contract number 24-065-128-E986.
I'll second that.
We got a motion and a second.
Just to let y'all know, these are part of the startup documents that are required. So it's just a requirement that we do this.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 15.
I move to approve adopting resolution R-14-2025, a resolution regarding civil rights, which includes the following policies: citizen participation plan and grievance procedures, Section 3 policy, excessive force policy, limited English proficiency standards plan, Section 504 policy and grievance procedures, code of conduct policy, and fair housing policy for the General Land Office State Contract number 24-065-128-E986, and authorizing the county judge to sign the documents.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
And this is what we're referring to as the MIT-MOD grant.
Yes, ma'am. And this again is part of the startup documents that are required. And as the judge said, all of these have been provided to us through GrantWorks. So they're already working really hard on the project.
And because we do this, then the town of Fulton does not have to go through and do this because we're serving. part
Right,
of
we are
their-
administering the grant. We are the entity that's receiving the grant.
You're welcome.
And wasn't that like a requirement from
With the state, the way it was, of the 10 million, there's a little over $2 million that was designated for Fulton, yes.
Commissioner Castleline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 16.
Move to approve adoption of resolution R 2025, which will formally adopt the Aransas County Hazard Mitigation Action Plan.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Mike, are you still on? Oh.
I noticed his name was taken off of this. It's just mine, so.
Oh.
This is the plan that we actually contracted with H2O Partners for. They have completed the plan. It has gone through TDM review and actually to FEMA already, and their approval. What this resolution will do is for us to formally adopt it, and then it will go back to FEMA. We'll get all of our, the complete thing, because all the resolutions have to be in the plan when they sign off on it.
Where would we see a copy of that plan?
You received a copy. It should have been a copy with all of the documents that you got. I did include it with the documents. It's a fairly large document.
Okay, I'll check with Tracy afterwards. but
Okay.
what
Because
I
it should have been in with everything that you received, because I sent a copy.
have the letter from FEMA, and then just how TDM needs to submit the package to FEMA.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll get
But it's a good plan. We've worked hard on it. It was a collaboration of the city, the town of Fulton, the school district, as well as
NAV
the
district.
NAV district, and with the county.
They had several workshops with public
Yes, we
input.
had public hearings, public workshops, and it's a good plan.
Commissioner Castleline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 17.
I move to approve authorization to rescind hiring resolution number R 21-2024 and contract award for the Sheriff's Office radio tower equipment and installation RFP number 2024-701 awarded to Motorola Solutions Incorporated on August 26, 2024.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion and a second.
This is part of the MITMOD grant. We were advised to go ahead and go out for RFPs on this, but in reviewing all the documents, this one did not have an environmental impact study done on it. So we have to rescind it and redo it, because we cannot issue a contract to someone prior to having the environmental study done.
When do we think we'll be looking? at
I
getting-
believe they are working on
Listening.
it right now. This is another thing that with GrantWorks that they offer. They have the environmental people there, so they are actually working on it
Okay.
already.
And this is actually part of the same grant package that's going to include the improvements to Lamar and
Yes.
Fulton.
Yes.
This is the MITMOD.
Commissioner Castleline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 18.
I move to approve authorization to solicit requests for proposals for the Sheriff's Office radio tower equipment and installation to be funded by the General Land Office Community Development Block Grant, MITMOD Grant Contract Number 204-065-128-E986.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Do we need the permitting results back before we do this, or we can proceed with the RFP and then?
We just cannot, let me talk to Eric and see exactly. He did tell me when he was ready, but we may wait. I'm not sure how long it will take GrantWorks to do that. I don't think it's going to take very long, because they've already gotten the information, and there's going to be very little, no ground disturbance to very little. So there's some issues that should not take very long to get this study done.
So in the time that it'll take to do the RFP and then rate them, and that we should have the.
We should be good, but we will double check on that before we do bring it back to court to issue any.
Okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 19.
Move to approve hiring resolution R 2025 for Hanson Professional Services Incorporated for Lamar Drainage Project in the county's General Land Office Community Development Block Grant Mitigation Program Contract 24065-128-E986.
Second.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning.
Morning,
Morning,
Commissioner.
Daryl.
Just want to remind back in July of last year, Commissioners Court approved selecting Hanson Professional Services for engineering services for the Lamar Drainage Project, which is part of the CDBG MIT funding.
Commissioner sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. Any questions? I'll still reading.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 20.
Move to approve hiring resolution R 21-2025 for Hanson Professional Service Incorporated for the Fulton Street Improvement Project and the county's General Land Office Community Development Block Grant Mitigation Program Contract number 24-065-128-E986.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Just like the Lamar project, this Fulton Street project was also approved by Commissioners Court for selecting Hanson Professional Services for engineering services, the CDBG MIT program funding.
So will you be bringing, aren't there others to be approved for different projects in that
We will
that
be-
grant package, like the drainage?
For the drainage study, we do have another one, but we've already
We've done that with
we've
the-
already done that
Okay.
with Pape Dawson.
And
Okay.
that hiring resolution went with the regional selection.
Okay.
Thank you.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 21.
Move to approve the April 2025 Treasurer's Report.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Madam Treasurer, good morning.
Good morning. Any questions that I can answer on the numbers?
Aren't you surprised? I have no questions.
Well, okay.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 22.
I move to approve appointing Sarita Lakwa to serve on the Board of Directors of Crossroads Community Action and authorize the county judge to sign the appointment letter to Crossroads Community Action.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Good morning.
Morning, Sarita.
Thanks, Rita.
So I've served on the board since 2016. They meet at least quarterly, sometimes more than that. They've gone to Zoom since COVID, so it's a Zoom, but I have a hard time even making those meetings. Sarita goes to all the community actions meetings that they have here in town. There's 2 or 3 different ones that meet monthly and stuff, and she actually already deals with what they call Crossroads now, used to be Community Action Committee of Victoria. And so I think that she would be perfect to take my position to make sure that Aransas County is represented.
Perfect. All right.
I think she will.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you did good.
Commissioner Casterline. Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 23.
Move to approve Resolution R 17-2025, a resolution approving the Aransas County Investment Policy. No changes, yearly review and update.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
So like she just said, it's a yearly renewal. I haven't changed any of our policies, with the exception of adding an investment officer, which is the next resolution. Any questions on any of our investment policy?
And we're just changing the exhibits, right?
Right.
Okay.
One of them, actually.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 24.
Move to approve Resolution R 18-2025, a resolution appointing Alma Cartwright County Treasurer and Tana Taylor Assistant Auditor as investment officers to invest Aransas County's funds in accordance with the foregoing investment policy.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
So a couple of months ago, Tana did take the county investment policy, county investment academy, and she passed the test. And I'd be welcome to have somebody on the investment committee besides myself.
Oh, sweet.
Great.
In the past, you have had, though, a chief deputy, have you not?
Right. If they take the investment
Right.
class, which my chief deputy will eventually probably also take it, but they only give it once a year. So probably the first of next year, she will take it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Number 25.
I move to approve resolution R-19-2025, a resolution acknowledging the brokers slash dealers list as being authorized to provide services as required to Aransas County. No changes.
Second.
Motion second.
Same broker dealers, investment pools, nothing new.
All right.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Alma. Number 26.
Move to approve budget line items.
Second.
We have none at this time.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Number 27.
I move to approve accounts payable and payroll slash payroll liabilities.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
You have the payroll, or actually the accounts payable and the payroll, and payroll liabilities. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. We do have a couple of small things that came out of the 430, which capital funds, G&W engineers for generators, and this is still for the road and bridge, transfer station, and airport lighting, $3,862.95. And Lone Star Operations which is one of our sheriff's office grants, was $604.36. And under the courthouse, we have an invoice for Broadus of $6,245.66.
How much was that again? 6,000?
$6,245.66.
And was that for the month of April?
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
remember? Thank you.
Not really anything unusual that I can see. There is an invoice for environmental health building where they went in and did the foundation, and it was about $13,000, I believe. But other than that, they had to go in and lift up the foundation and whatever they did to it.
Pilings or piers underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It was
the
it was a big
building was
project.
actually.
Slapping.
Slab was, so that has been repaired, and I think at a very good cost myself.
Who was the contractor on that? That's okay. Okay. You knew so much, I just thought you'd have that.
You know, honestly, I left all this at home and I had to reprint it this morning, and I did have it written down on the one I left at home.
Environmental health, and you said about 13,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. We approve the accounts payable. Section 12, reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. No action will be taken.
I have something.
Yes, ma'am.
Just wanted to let y'all know, Monday is Sue's last day. She's retiring. And we're going to kind of have a come and go if y'all would like to come by Monday afternoon and say, see you later.
How many years has she been with us?
Oh, gosh, about 12 or 13, because she was here a year longer than me. So she's been here about 11, 12 years.
I have something. I'd like to announce that it's my intention not to run for reelection in next year's election. I've enjoyed being a commissioner all these years, and I'm announcing it now to give people that might be interested in running time to kind of feel their way into it. Anybody interested that has questions about my precinct or being a commissioner, welcome to contact me and I can inform them.
All right.
Sorry to hear that, Baba. I just wanted to mention that yesterday there was a wonderful Memorial Day observance at the Veterans Memorial Park. They have one every year. And, excuse my voice. Yesterday, they asked Gold Star family members to come and speak about a loved one that they had lost in one of the wars. And it was heart-wrenching, it was poignant, but it was terribly important for those families to tell their stories and for us who were in the audience to hear them and to remember Memorial Day is not just for hot dogs in the beach. There is a greater purpose to it. We used to call it Decoration Day when I was a little kid, and we went to the cemeteries all the time with flowers. So I hope next year it was well represented, but there could have been more people there. I see Brad Brundrat, he was there with his family, and the GI Forum for the first time this year did Flags for Heroes. It wasn't well promoted, but it was absolutely fabulous. And if you've been in Corpus Christi and seen the flags that line Ocean Drive pretty much from the university up to Cole Park, it just really impacts your thinking about the holidays. And I was fortunate, Commissioner Jupnik found out about it and let me know. So I had a flag for my father and a flag for my father-in-law. But I would encourage everybody next year, get in touch with the GI Forum in March or April because they intend to do it again. And it would just be lovely to have that whole park filled with flags. Thank you.
And also just to follow up on that, we do have other families here that have lost loved ones besides those, but those are the most current and recent. I think the Brundret family, actually Marsha Brundret's brother lost his life in Vietnam, correct? So I just wanted to bring that up there. What we have a family, a community that a lot of people have given, like Pat was saying, the ultimate sacrifice, and we're very thankful and grateful for that.
Anybody else? All right. Move on to reports, section 13, reports about items of community interest. Good. Now we will entertain a motion and to convene into closed session.
I move we convene into closed session to consult with counsel and receive legal advice about pending or contemplated litigation, settlement offers, or other attorney-client privilege matters, including but not limited to any items posted on this agenda and the listed items listed below. Number 1, Aransas County, Texas versus Endurance American Specialty Insurance Company et al. Aransas County District Court cause number 23-0021. Number 2, North Star Recovery Service, Inc. versus Aransas County Independent School District and Aransas County. Aransas County District Court cause number 23-0066. Consolidated with North Star Recovery Services, Inc. versus HR&R LLC. Aransas County District Court cause number 20-0159. Number 3, Western Steel Company versus T2J Partners LLC, DIE/A FPS Recovery LLC, and Aransas County, Texas. Cause number 24-0072 in the 36th District Court of Aransas County. Number 4, Old Castle Building Envelope, Inc. does business as Graham Architectural Products versus Sharp Glass. Aransas County District Court cause number 24-0099. Number 5, the Downtown Anchor Project, including the county's permissible actions under its various contracts and reports on formal review, action, and notices as may be required under a contract, the grant funding requirements, or the law. Number 6, Went Services, Inc., Public Information Act request. Number 7, HUD Public Information Act request. Number 8, Stewart Group, purchase of 12-unit T-hangar, Aransas County Airport. Texas Government Code Section 551.071, also known as the Texas Open Meetings Act, authorizes closed session meetings to allow for a governmental body to consult with its attorney and receive advice on legal matters pertaining to pending or contemplated litigation, a settlement offer, or on a matter in which the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Open Meetings Act. Under governmental body, Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas. Okay,
Second,
Commissioner Castleline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Take a 10-minute break and then go into closed session. Thank you. After you read it, you're supposed to go. After you read it, you're supposed to go.
I was taking my breath as I was reading. Couldn't you tell? Okay, I'm gonna sign these, but then I get to take a break. Sorry. Trying to-
Oh, did they?
Oh, yeah, why don't you leave it? Thank you. If I don't need it, I'll bring it back. to you.
How much more do they like?
I think there's about five
That's-
streets over
No,
there.
they're good.
I don't remember which ones, because there's a couple that we had.
Yeah.
We've already taken it, or we wanted to get in and get out there. That
Well,
was-
thank you,
We
ma'am.
kind of did a little thing with them
But we were not-
Wednesday. The lady is there that's moderating. If you need to be prepared. I said, I can answer questions. I just don't tell me. I can answer. Yes.
Bye. Thanks for coming, ladies. Your pleasure. There are two things.
You
that
don't like
you-
that.
Okay, I signed that. Okay, and then
He's doing better.
Pleasure watching you all these years.
Well, thank you, thank you. I mean, I've enjoyed it.
You
And, I mean, my term doesn't end till December 31st of 26, but I don't want to wait till the last minute and then people that might want to run or, you know,
I'm gonna leave that.
running around.
There weren't any stickers.
You need me to hang around?
Yeah. You're good. I'm just gonna tell them.
No, I think the other thing.
It was a little late, but it was a combination of Ben in the backseat texting Mike and Mike having a radio and it just, all of a sudden they're going, you gotta let me know, and all of a sudden over the radio, it's like, it's ending now, so I turned it back and he came over.
Oh, that worked.
That was perfect. I was thinking that too. I was gonna-
Yeah, it was great.
All right, I am live. It is 11:23. I have a motion to go back into open session.
Move to reconvene into open session.
Second.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, we're back in open session. We're gonna hit item number 30.
I move to approve taking action or issuing instructions to the county attorney's office to act on the county's behalf regarding any of the pending matters identified for closed session and authorizing county judge's office to act accordingly, including potential additional engagement of Lloyd, Goslink, Rochelle, and Townsend PC, PC, and also known as Lloyd Goslink, and any necessary documents, any necessary subcontractors, consultants, or additional legal/law firm subcontract assistance to be engaged by Lloyd Goslink on the county's behalf to assist the county with respect to any of the subject matter identified for closed session for not to exceed amount of $60,000.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, and just a quick correction, authorizing county attorney's office, not county judge's office.
Did I say county judge? I apologize.
All right.
Was there anything to be discussed?
No.
Okay. Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Nay.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Motion passes. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Thank y'all so much. For noon.